105, Denver's greatest hits. You know, that song was the soundtrack to a lot of people's craziest times out at the club.
Proof in the pudding right there.
That's right. I think people hear that song and they're like, oh, yeah, I remember what.
I remember what happened next.
I remember that. Yeah. Mindbender is coming up here with Dom and Melissa here at Cool 105, Denver's greatest hits. That's just a few minutes away. But listen, I gave a lot of thought about whether I wanted to do a segment about this, and the more I thought of it, because it's so not common, let's just say, in the radio industry. Mm-hmm. The way radio generally has worked for the last 50 years or whatever is that when there's a change on a radio station, the radio stations don't talk about it.
Right.
And I've always been a person who kind of advocates for listeners. And that doesn't always sit well with management because they want to advocate for other things. But I'm like, I'm going to advocate for listeners here because people invest their heart and soul into the radio stations that they listen to. So since it's our first day, I want to take a moment and just kind of introduce our little team and then say something about what's going on, if that's okay. And I know it's going to be uncomfortable for some people, but I want to do it anyway. Are you cool with that?
I'd much rather lean into a difficult conversation than pretend like it didn't happen.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. My name is Dom Testa. That's Dom with an M, and I've worked in Denver radio for 38 years. The last 32, actually, just across the hall from Cool 105. And Melissa Moore is also a longtime and award-winning Denver radio host. And Melissa and I actually worked together back in the 1990s. That's hilarious to me.
Yep.
So this is kind of a very pleasant reunion for us. So that's our story in a nutshell. As for the really big elephant in the room, I'm just going to address it because, like I said, in the past, radio stations wouldn't do that. I'd rather be blunt about this. So I'm going to say right up front, for those of you who came over from Melissa's old station, which was Cozy, hi, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Hi, love you.
Embrace. Melissa gives you a big embrace.
I sure do.
For those of you who came over from Mix 100, who listened to me over there for 30-something years, thank you. We embrace you. For those of you who have been big fans of Winston and Mel here at Cool 105, they hosted it for many years. I have to point out, they are friends of mine. I've worked across the hall from them for a very long time. They're not only remarkable radio people, but they're just terrific people, period. They really are. And I sincerely wish them nothing but the best going forward. Radio stations make changes for a lot of reasons. And Melissa, you've been around, you know this. Sometimes it's ratings.
Right.
Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's other reasons. And I don't know why management elected to not renew Winston and Mel's contract. I don't know, because that's not my business. You know, I don't stick my nose into that. Like I said, they're my friends, and I was as surprised as a lot of people when that worked out. But I can't dwell on that, and Melissa can't either. We've been asked to come in and fill the vacancy on the show. And I only agreed to do it if I could bring Melissa over from Cozy. And I'm not kidding. You can go ask management. I said, I'll do it, but I have to have the person that I would want to work with. If you were a big fan of Winston and Mel, we want to honor them because they've put in many years here. We don't for one moment expect you to just automatically welcome us with open arms. We have been in the business long enough to know how you build relationships with the people that you listen to on the radio. There are many people who listened for years to my show on Mix who made the move over because of that relationship. And just like a ton of people who love Melissa over on Cozy have made the move because they feel a connection with her. So believe me, I am glad if you built a loving relationship with Winston and Mel. I understand how some people are sad. Some people are angry about the change. I get all that. I just want listeners to know that Melissa and I will work really, really hard to earn your trust and your loyalty. We're not going to expect you just to give it to us. We're going to show up every day. We're going to do the best job we can to have fun with you. And we're going to try to live up to the high standards of Cool 105, which is a legendary radio station in Denver. Already has an incredible crew. Jim Barry, Lalani, Dirk Steele. Mm-hmm. Great people. So Melissa and I are honored to be asked to step into the vacancy here, and we hope that you'll give us a chance to entertain and keep you company as we move forward. And that's all we can do. Yep. That's all we can ask. Anything you want to add to any of that?
I would just say thank you to everybody for the kind words. Thank you for the people saying, hey, we'll give you a shot. I think we've all been that new person at a job or at a school. And if you remember walking in the first day and your mom's telling you, you're the best, you got this. You're like, I know, but I'm just nervous. I'm scared. And you know what? I mean, we're the new people. And so thank you to everybody who's offered to let us sit at the lunch table with you, who said, hey, do you need help getting that locker open? Just thank you for that. And I just echo everything Dom said, that we will work really hard to earn your trust.
So thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can always reach us, 303-504-0105. And you're going to need that number for the Mindbender, which is coming up next.